When you look at the clock on your phone, you probably assume you're checking a basic fact of nature, but the time on that screen is a completely fabricated human invention. For most of human history, we tracked the day using local solar time. A town's clock was strictly tied to the sky above it. When the sun reached its highest point over the town square, that exact moment was defined as noon. Because the Earth is a rotating sphere, the sun reaches that peak at slightly different moments for every location. That meant noon in one city happened several minutes earlier or later than noon in a neighboring city. In a pre-industrial society where people traveled on foot or by horse, those minor local variations were harmless. A few minutes of difference between towns simply didn't matter. That harmless local rhythm broke during the Industrial Revolution. With the invention of the steam train, humanity suddenly outpaced the local clock. A passenger could board a train leaving one station exactly at noon and arrive in a new city where the local clock read 11:52 a.m. Managing a schedule across hundreds of train stations, each rigidly following its own unique local time, created immediate chaos. Trains missed each other on shared tracks, routes overlapped incorrectly, and those scheduling errors led to fatal rail collisions. These crashes transformed timekeeping into a high-stakes infrastructure crisis that demanded a universal, engineered fix. In 1884, global leaders and scientists gathered in Washington, D.C. for the International Meridian Conference. Their objective was to sit down and build a universal, synchronized clock. They started with a core mathematical equation. Since the Earth rotates 360 degrees every 24 hours, every hour of rotation perfectly matches 15 degrees of longitude. Applying that math to the planet yields 24 perfectly straight, neat 1-hour zones. To ground this entire system, they chose a single geographic anchor point, Greenwich Mean Time, or GMT, in London. On paper, humanity had successfully engineered a mathematically flawless synchronization of the globe. But pure math rarely survives contact with human society. This map shows the true shape of time zones today. The theoretical straight lines actually zigzag, stretch, and bend violently across the planet. Independent nations manipulate those strict mathematical lines to keep their economies and populations aligned on the same schedule. India is a primary example. The country is geographically wide enough to require multiple time zones, yet the government enforces a single unified clock across the entire nation. Our modern clock operates as a massive geopolitical compromise, where national borders dictate the time more than planetary geometry. We can see why this massive compromise is necessary by asking what would happen if we abolished zones entirely and put the whole planet on one universal clock. The Earth itself would still rotate. That means sunrise and sunset would happen at completely different moments for different people. Under a single global clock, 6 a.m. would mean waking up to bright morning sunshine in one country, while someone in another country experiences 6 a.m. in the dead of a pitch-black night. A single global time would strip our daily schedules of their biological meaning. Individuals would be forced to constantly calculate and translate the numbers on their clock into the reality of daylight outside. Time zones exist to absorb the burden of that constant translation, so human beings don't have to. They act as an artificial buffer. They are designed to perfectly align the planet's rigid rotation with the biological day-to-night rhythms of human life. Waking up to the morning sun at 7 a.m. feels completely natural, but it is an entirely engineered experience. The time displayed on your screen is a brilliant piece of invisible global infrastructure. It quietly keeps billions of lives perfectly in sync.